What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to more 1 vs. 1 lightsaber duels in Battlefront 2. This is episode 3 of our post-duel commentary series. Episodes 1 and 2 will be linked below in the description if you missed them. I got some great comments on episode 2, which was focused on the parry mechanic in Battlefront 2. A lot of the comments in that video talked about how there are some players who will hide behind the block and only try to parry, and how annoying it is to deal with. So I figured, since the last episode focused on doing the parry, I figured this episode should focus on how to get around it. And I got some really good clips that actually showcase just that, so we'll start with this Obi-Wan duel. It started as a 2v1, but we got Han out of there pretty quickly. I caught on to the fact pretty quickly, though, that this guy loved the parry. He was very hesitant to attack first. As you can see, he got a clean parry in on me there, and then immediately went back to the block and waited for me. He did that a couple of times before I caught on to it, but since I started this 1v1 against him with just about half health, I'm playing pretty cautiously, at least until I get him down a little bit more. Here I'm trying to psych him out, but the edge of the ledge stopped me there. But even when he's got the high ground, I go for a jump attack, he parries that, and then refuses to follow me, so I know that that's exactly what he's looking for. And here's where I start mixing in some unorthodox dodges. As a PlayStation player, I have a tendency to dodge right more often than not, because it's a lot easier for my thumb to pull the control stick in that direction right after I dodge. Dodging left is a little bit more tricky because I have to move the control stick a little bit further than I would have to if I dodge right. But here I'm really trying to dodge left because it's a more unorthodox angle, and I actually got 3 or 4 consecutive hits on him. But that's one way to get around the block and avoid the parry, is by mixing up your dodges. If you keep dodging in one direction all the time, your opponent will start to read that, and they will know to look for that dodge. And anytime you dodge right, they'll say, oh, okay, he's going to go for an attack now, and they will try to parry it. I actually got very lucky that he missed that all-out push. If he landed that, I probably would have lost. Both taking it one attack at a time. I'm doing more left dodges and then trying to attack. Got that shot into his back. And since he went up, I tried to pull him and then follow up with Frenzy, but that barrier right there stopped the last 2 hits, and I only got 1 in on him. He parried that attack. Yeah. And I can tell that's all he's looking for. He's just looking for an easy parry. I got 2 shots in there, and here I tried to finish it with the Frenzy, but one of the attacks missed. I was hoping the block breaker would finish it. Here I'm going a little bit more aggressively, trying to finish off that last bit of health, but he gets away. This guy actually annoyed me during this duel, so you'll see me taunt him with the coward's emote a couple of times, just because that was the mentality I was having towards him. But more left-hand dodges and hitting his side. It seems to be working because he doesn't seem to be anticipating the left dodge. He anticipates the right dodge just fine. And again, I got 2 hits on him, but Frenzy missed. Another taunt. And at this point, I was getting a little bit sick of this guy. So I'm kind of going a little bit harder than I was in the beginning. But here I'm baiting his parry because I know he's looking for it, so if I hold off just a split second until after he attacks, then I can get a clean parry in. Here I'm trying some hook swings. I got the first one in, but I missed the second, and then Frenzy finishes it off. But that's one way to get around a parry spammer, is unorthodox dodges. If you have a tendency to dodge right, dodge left instead, and see if that doesn't shake things up. Here was a clean example of a hook swing, plus exposed weakness and Dooku's duelist, plus initiative. 2 attacks and Anakin is down below 50% health. That was huge. The hook swing is something I'm still getting the hang of, but it's another way to get around a block spammer, because what it does is it sends you through their character model, and if you can turn your camera at the right time, you can essentially angle an attack right into their back and get some free damage in. And that's what I'm trying to do to this Anakin. This Anakin was actually a really good duelist. But that first hook swing got the initial damage that I needed to give myself the advantage. He gets a knockdown there. Fortunately, I was able to get away. He parries a hit, Now I think he's going for some hook swings here. It was a little high. I have initiative back though, so I'm trying to do the same thing. Here I start running low on stamina. Avoided the passionate strike because I knew if that connected I would have lost. And he's playing pretty conservatively. He's not making any unnecessary movements. We're both kind of feeling each other out. That lightning stun actually saved my life because he got the knockdown on me, but I got the knockdown on him as well, so we basically canceled each other out and he couldn't follow up with the heroic might. And I knew I had him right there when he missed the passionate strike. So, unorthodox dodges, hook swings, those are good ways to get around the parry and the block. This is actually that first lobby again. This is a 2v1, and I think the only reason I included it was because it was reminiscent of Episode 2. Kind of a rematch between Anakin, Kenobi, and Dooku. I get Obi-Wan out of there first since I know he's going to be more annoying. That was the parry spammer from that first match. I land a hook swing there on Anakin, but I couldn't follow up with it. I've got initiative up. I lost sight of him, but he jumped down into the hole. Waiting for heroic might. Now, this guy wasn't as skilled as his parry spamming partner, but Anakin is always dangerous. If you get caught up in his spam attacks, it can eat a good chunk of your health if you're not careful. Here I'm just dodging around him, trying to get an angle. I got half of a hook swing in there, and I knew I had him right here because I had Duelist active, and I knew I was within 3 or 4 hits, and he was only within 2 hits. So my 2 hits would have beaten his 3 any day. This last duel of the video was another long one. This is that same Kenobi player. But I wanted to showcase a duel with Grievous because I played a very aggressive Grievous this match, and it kind of rendered his parries helpless because every time he would try to parry, I would actually end up hitting him again. So I suppose another way to avoid the parry is constant aggression, because after a while he really did not know what to do about my attacks. All he could do was back up and block. Here I'm doing more left-hand dodges, getting those sneaky attacks into his back. But he's still getting clean parries. I did not expect that parry on that thrust surge. It turned me around, and I was not expecting to face that direction. Unrelenting advance is basically useless. I should have claw rushed him, or I'm sorry, I should have thrust surged him right there when he was running away. I might have been able to land it. But there we had a little parry exchange. I loaded up on a couple of those parries. I hit him once, and then I deflected all of the other ones. Here I'm feeling him out, seeing how he reacts when I dodge past him. And still, he's going for the parry. There, instead of attacking, I went for the claw rush, because again, I knew he was going to try to parry it, which leaves him open to be knocked down. Thrust surge gets parried again. I actually got a hit with unrelenting advance there, surprisingly enough. But I notice he's leaving his back pretty exposed at times, which means he's not the fastest at turning his camera. There I baited a parry on him and then got 2 hits in myself. But he's having a really hard time landing parries on my Grievous, and that's because I'm just maintaining constant aggression. All he can really do is back up and block. His mind trick is keeping my abilities at bay, but when I get a chance, I do hit him with him. You may notice I'm doing that jump attack combo. I talked about that in a video where Grievous's jump attacks can actually come faster than his regular standing attacks. It's pretty fun to do. Here we're trying to bait each other's parries. I'm out of stamina, so I'm trying to back up. Got a quick block on that first hit, but he hits me with the second. He tries to parry thrust surge, but misses, so I parry his parry twice. I landed that claw rush, but I wasn't able to follow up because for whatever reason he was able to stand back up. I got 1 hit in there and I tried to follow up, but did not let me get the second hit in. Parries thrust surge again. Yeah, as you can see, he really did not know how to address the aggression. Now, I don't want to pretend that this will work every time, just being aggressive, because if you're too aggressive and the player knows what they're doing, they can definitely still parry all of your attacks. So you want to make sure you know what kind of player you're dealing with. I noticed early on that this guy was only trying to parry one at a time, but when I started really piling on the attacks, he didn't really know what to do, so that's why I was trying to maintain the aggression. More left-hand dodges, got 2 hits there, and this claw rush finishes it. It's pretty tricky, but it can be done. You can beat the parry spammers. I know it's annoying. I wasn't having the most fun in that match, but I was able to get around it all the same. I hope this helped you guys out and gave you some ideas on how to beat parry spammers. It's not the end-all be-all of dueling. It's great if you learn how to do it, but try not to abuse it, please. That's all for this one, guys. Peace.